Someone I considered an online friend, a guy called Spetsnaz, passed away recently. It's awful news, and I've been in a bit of a funk since hearing about it. I feel annoyed and sad at the same time. Why him? I think. What? Spetsnaz? It's a joke. Really? And, okay, I know there's no reason why some of us are still here and others aren't, but he was a really good guy, and there aren't many of them around anymore. He was respected by almost everyone that watched his videos, and I mean everyone. The irony is that a few years ago, Spetsnaz and I did a long video chat together eulogizing Paul Proteus, another content creator who just passed away, and someone we both greatly respected and admired. And here I am now saying goodbye to Spetsnaz himself, someone that I greatly respected and admired. And I hate it. A bit of backstory on Spetsnaz for those of you who don't know. He was one of the original guys who was creating videos for men back in the day, helping them with the common problems like, women, relationships, and finding your way through everyday life. I remember being immediately drawn to his content because it was very mentor-like. Like a older guy with wisdom talking to you. And then just as I started to tune into every video he was uploading back in those days, he left YouTube all of a sudden. I guess just to take a break, live his life, or go his own way. At the time, I was inspired by him and maybe one or two others to start uploading videos as well. So I was a little regretful that I never got to be part of the scene with him still there. I'd missed the boat with Spetsnaz, so to speak. And so the years went by, my channel started to grow a little bit, and then out of the blue, recently in fact, Spetsnaz returned to YouTube and started making videos again. Everyone was excited, especially me. It seemed I had a second chance to maybe get to know this guy. I'd made it known to people in the scene that I was a fan of his work and I was really happy that he was around and that I'd love to record a chat with him if he wanted to. And to my surprise, he wanted to chat with me as well. So we organized the time to do a recorded podcast and we hit it off. It was great. I mean, as soon as I switched on my microphone and heard him through my headphones say, "Hey man," I felt relaxed around him. He just sounded like a normal guy. We chatted and we laughed, talked about life, women, relationships, mistakes we'd made in the past. There was real honesty there, what he'd learned and whatever else. We clicked immediately and very, very easily. He got my humor and I got his. I'd make an analogy and he'd follow up with his own example. There were no awkward pauses or misunderstandings. We understood each other without any games. It never felt like I was doing some formal podcast with him. Ever. It always felt like I was talking to someone on my phone in everyday life. There was an ease I felt around Spetsnaz that I don't feel with many others online. And I think he felt that ease around me too. Proof of it was that our conversations often went on for hours. And we stopped them because we were getting tired. We often talked about how a man's worst enemy is the person looking back at him in the mirror. And I think that we got along because he never had to have his fists up with me, avoiding that same type of man in the mirror in the form of another person that he was talking to. I think he appreciated that in our conversations, and I know I did. Spetsnaz was a private guy, that's for sure. But for good reason. The world is full of gold diggers, con men, and hitmen, especially in his world, which is a lot rougher than most of ours. Spetsnaz was honest and had a down-to-earth approach to life and relationships. He was no fool, wise beyond his years. I always thought he was around my age by the way he spoke, but I actually found out he was almost a decade younger than me. A very solid and noble personality. He had no patience for fools or idiots. He didn't take shit from anyone. He had a lot of self-respect. He wasn't that tech-savvy, but he didn't care either. And it was endearing that he didn't care. He knew who he was and wasn't bothered about keeping up with the trends and likes and the social media stuff. If he could live on his own terms, that was all that he cared about. The world could just continue doing its own thing, just leave him alone. We also shared an affinity for the writer Charles Bukowski. But Spetsnaz didn't just read to use witty phrases and show off in videos. No, he didn't care if you were impressed or not. He was trying to use what he'd read. They weren't just beautiful words to him, they had to mean something, or they were useless. He tested those words out in the world all the time. He observed people, he talked to them, he joked with them, got into fights, loved women, left women, got his heart broken, felt things, and then came back to YouTube to tell us about it in his videos. He was trying hard to find the answers in a very tactile kind of way, and I really respected that about him. He was a big influence on me starting my channel and the kind of flavor of channel I wanted to do. Spetsnaz lived almost exclusively in the real world, unlike many of us, and only seemed to visit YouTube to upload a video for all of us, like someone throwing a letter into a postbox and then walking away back into the world. He'd come back to tell another story or an observation. When I talked to him, he always said that he never felt at home in the digital space. He didn't understand it, all the comments and fights and people. He thought it was juvenile and stupid, and he didn't want to be part of it. And I really liked that about him. It was why he was never bothered by anything that happened online. I remember after a few months of him restarting his YouTube channel, that YouTube deleted his channel one day because of some kind of infringement. I can't remember what it was. And I talked to him shortly after that, and he literally could not care less. He said, what do you do? And he laughed. His reaction was amazing and admirable. He didn't just talk about this stuff. He actually lived it. I'll miss Spetsnaz. I'll miss never getting to talk to him again or getting to listen to a video of his again as he walks around Thailand with his GoPro talking about life like I was FaceTiming him on my phone or something. His content was very personal, and I'll miss that. I'll share something with you. Spetsnaz and I were going to meet for a face-to-face drink the next time he was here in Melbourne. He's the only guy from the old guard of content creators that I really got along with and still kept in contact with. He never tried to debate me, outsmart me. He just treated me like another guy. He didn't try and work me out or prove me wrong. He was just a decent dude. His passing really pisses me off because it reminds me of what's important in my life. Good people and good times with them. Not all this political gladiator games in the comment sections. And I hate that his passing makes me remember this again, effectively at his expense. And I wish that Spetsnaz didn't have to pass away for me to be reminded of this. It annoys me and I feel ashamed about it. All that seemed serious online yesterday seems petty and stupid today. And all the trolls in the comments section, all the pointless bullshit I used to argue over, people's disagreements and opinions. Oh, what will thousands of faceless people I don't know in the comments section think about a video I made? Will they understand me? A decision I made? Will they approve? I hope they get it. I hope they understand. Well, Spetsnaz understood me, and I understood him because we talk to each other like normal guys. And as I get older, people I care about are disappearing. My world is getting smaller without people like him to talk to. I'll miss having one more conversation with him. And I especially regret that I never got to talk to him in person like we planned. The irony is that Spetsnaz was currently doing a video series on his channel talking about all of his close friends that have recently passed away. He talked about their internal battles with life, women never quite being able to fit in or figure things out, wrestling with their demons, and how sad it was that they were now gone. And now it seems the 5th or 6th video in his series, the last one, was not posted by Spetsnaz, but by his friend Spider, telling us that the content creator himself, Spetsnaz, has passed away after getting hit by a car or bike. I don't know the details. In effect, the last person in Spetsnaz's video series about lost friends is Spetsnaz himself. And that's pretty sad. I'll end this video with a poem from one of Spetsnaz's favorite writers, Charles Bukowski, called Oh Yes. There are worse things than being alone, but it often takes decades to realize this. And most often, when you do, it's too late. And there's nothing worse than too late. Rest in peace, Spetsnaz. Glad I got to know you a little bit, and I'll miss our chats.